Hello everyone. Thank you for clicking on the video. Hope you're finding this video and doing well at the present time. I wanted to piggyback just a little from the ending of part 2 of the last 2 videos I made. Just to touch a little on where I left off with the twin flame and the karmic. I'm going to be honest with you, because I don't focus on too many other things and I try to focus on myself. Though a problem could be there, I am still living my everyday normal life. So I I keep a lot to myself, and I know a few things that I don't share. But at the same time, the details, because the narcissist has conditioned people not to speak to me, I don't have the details I would need in order to provide anything that would be substantial enough to help anything, or not that I'm trying to fix anything, but I guess in my own respect, having information that will help me. So I don't really try to worry about it too much. If people care to share something or speak truth and try to understand what they're inside of, that would be great, but I also don't force that. So going back to the twin flame and the karmic, who I believe the karmic is and how the story goes, the karmic could very well be someone else. And some of the people who are online bashing me, as I hear, I don't look for any of it. I probably don't know half these people, and some of them may be, whether it's friends, coworkers, family, who are still under the narcissist thumb and inside the illusions or the delusions in the narc's mind that he likes to create. This is just entertainment and a game for this person. Tactics to control and keep everyone under his control to continue receiving that validation or whatever it is that he's been looking for the past 16 years. I want to get into a little bit of cognitive dissonance. A narcissist, which is strange to me that he contacts people and he's a stranger to them, begins to study you in order to use you, in order to get other things done. And this is all very well calculated and premeditated. For example, narcissists will colonize your mind, and most of us are not equipped or ready for that type of illusion that's created, or the game that begins, or what you find yourself inside of. Some people are very well just like the narcissist, or close to that. I try not to diagnose others, but I do know what I know and what I've experienced for quite a long time, and have done my homeworks. I have spoken to professionals, and the narcissist fits a lot of the criterias of a narcopath. If anyone out there has access to the book, the DSM book of mental illness, you'll find that a lot of things that you experience or that someone else is speaking of is all fits inside the criteria of narcissism. Considering the longevity of being stalked by the same person, what I mean by colonizing your mind and cognitive dissonance, just to give you an example, the narcissist wants everything in the target's life, including their character, their talents, words of wisdom, ideas. They live vicariously through others, and it's beyond clingy, and it's a creepy feeling, and I've worked that out. I detach from it. I focus on myself and move through life as normal. Now, a narcissist will begin with whoever he can find in the beginning, and that was family members. And strange things were happening. I didn't judge people. I tried to explain what this was and what could happen and warn people in the beginning. And I had to stop doing that because the whole idea is to keep you hostage and trapped, putting out fire. So you kind of just have to walk away and just allow things to be as they are. For example, he'll get to know family members, and before you know it, everything was fine. Even if there are people you don't speak to every day, but when you do come in contact and communicate with people, everything is well enough that there isn't any animosity, illusions, suspicions, or anger. For example, let's say, I'm just throwing something out there because at this point, I'm just assuming according to the past and knowing certain people's characters and putting it together. I'm almost sure about certain people, and others may have been dragged in along the way later. So, let's say, for example, let's say it's, I don't know, a sister, and they will contact a sister or a cousin or someone they found on your social media. That is the doorway to begin this game, which set off everything else, and then it grows from there. Um, Again, the narcissist will pretend to be you, whether it be online or some other situation he creates, and then pretends to be your family member. And when you come to find out, neither one was doing anything, and some family members wind up creating things thinking that it was actually me online, attacking them or creating different scenarios. And when you defend yourself and you react to the gaslighting, they actually put it together as though you were doing something in the first place. So again, it's very well calculated by a narcissist to pit people against each other with the idea of using these people to cause problems in your life. And being in competitive mode is one of the first things that he uses. And this is because the narcissist wants other people to feel what he feels. If he's upset that you detached and peacefully just walked away and did not allow yourself to be controlled by them, then they want other people to be upset with you. Well, they want the world to be upset with you. And he also said he was going to recruit more people to go against me. So let's say, for example, he contacts a cousin. He'll colonize that cousin's mind to the point where literally your cousins become like his family member. Your sister becomes his sister. Your aunt becomes his aunt. Your uncle becomes his uncle. Your friends become his friends. This is a person who lives 3,000 miles away in another state. Your coworkers become his coworkers, and they team up to collaborate, and they want to take over your business, tell you how to run your business, telling people that you do various things in order to run your business that are not true, pitting co-workers against each other in order to use them to gaslight you so you could feel bullied and have to leave. So that type of scenario is created with everyone. So everything, the narcissist literally is just trying to get to your money, to your energy, and pretty much destiny swap. Again, when something truly belongs to you, it cannot be destiny swap. It can be rerouted, but I think that God, higher power, the universe works in unconventional ways, and what's meant for you is meant for you. So that's kind of like how they colonize the minds of everyone around you. And emotions are something that most of us lead with. We forget to think critically. We forget to ask questions. We forget to use logic. The narcissist will also create an illusion, a longevity to his relationship with the target, which is me, making it deeper than what it is, or it's still ongoing, like you're with them and been with them for 25 years, and I haven't seen this person in over 35 years. Haven't spoke to them in over 16 years. Not a text, not a call, not communication whatsoever. So if he can create that type of seniority in your life, it makes others believe, or others feel like it's warranted, like this person has a say into your money, a say into your relationships, creating the illusions that I did something wrong to him and that we have unfinished business. I do not have any unfinished business with the narcissist. Um, the audacity to constantly say this. I want you to imagine someone that you detach from or no longer speak to or went to school with, or you just don't get along with. It's not even that you don't get along with them. Obviously, you're not supposed to love or care about someone who's trying to unalive you and is creating this stalking and harassment in your life anyway. So what he'll begin to do is rewrite history. He'll also use anything he knows about your childhood, any details you may have spoken of, or some things are created as though he knows you better than you know yourself. And considering that other people may not know some details, so he will rewrite a lot of your history, not only of the target, but of the people around you. When those around you that have been recruited, they can also become a target of the narcissist. And this is unbeknownst to that person, because even when you think you're getting along, they're studying you, they're investigating things in your life that they can use later if you decide to detach from him as well, or if you start to see the truth and you start thinking for yourself. Now, let's put that in perspective. Like, for example, let's say you have a cousin, a friend. They'll investigate that person and find out if there's any flaws, if they owe anyone money, or if they owe taxes, or just anything, if they have said something about another person. And so that's something that he will use, and you won't know he's using it to start problems in your life, and you're still talking to the narcissist as though he's a friend and have no idea that he's already using something. You'll start getting letters in the mail, or people will start treating you differently, just trying to create problems or mess in your life or something. Let's say you're paying something slowly, then he'll contact that organization in order for them to bother you even more. Maybe tell them that you have the money to pay it off, but you just don't want to, so they'll start harassing you more. Or those are just kind of examples that I'm using. Um, as far as the twin flame, karmic, or anyone else, I don't know who's online. I do believe that the twin flame, obviously not being educated on what this could turn into, got himself involved, believing it was just about money, and the narcissist will create enticing scenarios. And being as though the flame and I did not get a chance to know each other better so that I can discuss with him a little more details, this is why the narcissist made sure that he used family, friends, co-workers in order to divide me and the twin flame, so that you can't compare notes. Now, while people are under his spell, like connection, he will go back to past people from 16 years ago and continuously use them, because whether or not I know about it, or whether or not a target knows, when you're at home minding your business, just running your everyday life and trying to live in peace and minding your business, he's still running games with other people in your life, creating this illusion that I'm speaking online. And he has created many accounts and various things in order to either make money, manipulate people that it's me. And this way, this is how he micromanages, keeps everyone angry, He doesn't want anyone to reconcile. He doesn't want people to heal. He doesn't want people to discover the truth. And what starts to happen with that is cognitive dissonance again, meaning he's already colonized your mind into hate. And it becomes addictive if you're gaining anything from that as far as the recruiting goes. So one stalker becomes two and three and four. And he knows he's creating the scenario in your life so that you're receiving negative things from all corners. So as far as the twin flame, um, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do feel a connection with this person. I do have love for this person. I wish it turned out differently. Now, considering that I don't deviate from the natural plan of the universe, I remained open to talking to this person, and I don't change how I move and how I felt, though I'm guarded and though I'm well aware to keep my guard up. I'm still um within what the universe handed to me, which is the gift of twin flames and the growth that comes with it. I refuse to allow anyone to keep me from what is meant for me. Again, destiny swapping cannot happen unless you allow it, especially if it's guided by God's hand and created. And I firmly believe that. I was one who didn't believe in twin flames until I came across mines. And it's really up to him to grow, to heal, to understand that this may have been karmic lessons from all corners of his life. Again, I don't allow anyone to change my mindset, how I navigate what was presented to me. So I am reacting in such a way where people think I'm a fool to communicate with this person. And I really feel that what I've learned about this person is that they do have a heart, because the universe chose him as a twin flame. I believe the universe is God is working on ego, pride, how to not fear being vulnerable, being himself, how to think for himself, how to detach from people he feels that he has to people please, or learning to be alone sometimes, going within, talking to God, various things that the twin flame journey does teach you. So I give grace to certain things, and I know that there may have been things that he's done that people may see as pretty bad. And of course, so will I, depending on what it is, if there's something that I don't know. Again, I don't discuss everything here, but there's a difference between an avoidant that is growing, and I feel the difference within myself. It's a telepathic soul recognition, and a lot of people, like I said, do not believe in the twin flame journey. I get that, and I fully understand, but I'm the one in it. I'm the one experiencing it, and it's been something that has brought me closer to God. There are lessons that I have learned of myself. Um, if you could see the flip side, the 5D portion of this, it does. Um, it's like God wants you to believe in something, and there is a reason for it. That these entities, these demonic forces, understand that the amount of healing and awakening that happens when you come into union with your twin flame, it drops a certain it's the union is supposed to help us heal others as a team. And sometimes that's done just by understanding what we've been through, what we've conquered, and how we still may believe in friendship or the soul connection, and being able to forgive at such a deep level, because it's almost like your forgiveness is being tested. Now, some people will say, I don't have to forgive this. I don't have to walk towards this, that I need to forget about it. And um, I, I I want people to understand that if it's a gift that's given to two people, no one else is going to understand the dynamics and the details and what it takes to come together. Um, and if it never happens, that has to be okay too, because I got out of it what I needed. I'm sure he's learned a lot and he may still have a ways to go. Um, this is a person that doesn't leave your spirit, even if you try. That connection is a 5D based connection, and it would be hard to explain to people who are not spiritual. All I know is that I don't feel bad that I was placed into that dynamic. I've learned what I needed to learn. I felt this love that I've never felt before, a comfort I've never felt before, a recognition of a past life. And again, that is something that is so hard to help people understand unless you are a twin flame yourself. Now, those who understand the journey, I do believe that they pick up in between the lines as to what I'm trying to say here. So those who don't understand will judge you. They'll talk you out of it, or the narcissist will say, oh, they're just living in a fantasy. I want people to understand that the twin flame journey was something that we didn't plan for. Though it said that your heart is asking for something, and everything you're asking for at a heart-based level without words is given to you through this person. Now, the separation stage is something that most twin flames experience to come into that alignment. Now, once we communicate, if people would leave us alone, we can come into that understanding. But what you have are people who are jealous that a chosen one. That's another thing. Only 1% of chosen ones meet their twin flame. So that is a double gift that's been given to me. And I feel like God is highlighting the gifts I've been given, considering everything that I've been through. Now, you have these energies, and I did explain to the twin flame that distractions will come, that he will experience the dark night of the soul, and that's exactly what happened. Now, I tried to help him in the beginning without losing myself, and after a while, I realized that I can't play God, and these things may have to play out because the universe has its plan. Now, it's up to him to either come to those understandings and maybe talk about what he's learned or what he feels, if he even feels the connection. I myself feel that he does. So there's a lot of doubt already without others in trying to come in between that connection. So imagine if you already have doubts because you've never felt this before. Now you have a bunch of people throwing in more doubts and creating illusions to keep you apart, not to mention trying to fear base, making you doubt, trying to make you hate each other. Um, these energies, these dark forces come together because they know the level of healing that comes with it. So that can take you down a rabbit hole of a whole new discovery as well. So that's where I am with the twin flame thing. Another thing is, a lot of people think that our attraction or the magnetism that comes with the twin flame journey, that it's just full of lust. And yes, you do have a connection that makes you want to meet up with your own soul. Imagine you meeting up with the other half of your soul. It's known that twin flames have, two bodies, but the same soul essence. That's another thing that is a rabbit hole to go down to educate yourself on. Now, it's hard for me to hate the twin flame. Um, That's something that once we come into union, if so, we'll discover more about each other, even if it's a friendship. But it's most people around us think that it's two people trying to come together and become sexually active or take over each other's lives. That's not so. Um, Twin flames, um, even if they become friends, it is a soul based level connection. It isn't always sexual, but those feelings to want to connect with your own soul is, some people see that in a 3D level where it's just about the flesh. So if you can imagine when two people come together, even if they're holding hands or a hug, it is the recognition of the soul first. And then again, um, those who are educated on twin flames know that they most times are already in a connection. And most of the times you're in a transition. It's like a subconscious transition into wanting something new. And that's when this new connection comes in. It's as though God is answering that deeper, heartfelt calling. And considering you may already be in a connection, those are choices that you have to make as far as if you want this to be a commitment. If it doesn't, then it's not something that we will hate each other for. I think it's paying homage to the soul before the flesh. Just meeting your other soul, the other part of your soul, if you believe in it. This is probably why we feel such a comfort and everything else disappears when we're in the same room, a level of peace and comfort as though you've just met yourself. A lot of times twin flames have similarities, be it the way they walk. Sometimes their culture doesn't always have to be. There could be features that are the same, thought process. I noticed that we have the same voice frequency, he being a male and me being a female, though twin flames can also be female and female, male to male. Even if people don't believe in the twin flame journey, that really is up to those two people to navigate it the way they want to come together the way they want to. A lot of these energies come into twin flame journeys and will cause a distraction. This is why it's inevitable that there is a karmic, whether it be friend, family, whoever, coworker, whoever could be a karmic, and will teach us lessons before you come together with your twin flame. And some of these karmic situations can be painful, but you have to keep in perspective the bigger picture. Now, I'm learning a lot myself through different types of journey that are happening in my life, whether it be awakening, ascending more, or the twin flame journey, lessons and feeling, learning a lot about spirituality. And now I believe in the twin flame journey because I'm in it. This is not a fantasy. The narcissist has said we are living in a fantasy. Now, I want to remind people that this is a person who for 16 years has been living in his fantasy that we are together, recruiting people, making my family his family, my friends his friends, wants to make my money his money, wants to tell me how to run anything, how to navigate myself, what to look like, what to wear, who to talk to, who's allowed to love me, whether I'm allowed to laugh. Just every single thing about me is picked on a daily. So this person trying to destiny swap with me is living in his fantasy. So if you put things into perspective, what he's doing is projecting and pretending that our connection is just a fantasy, that this is a false flame. This is why the narcissist started calling me his soulmate, in order to emulate that same dynamic, that same connection. Now, two people have to understand, feel, and know in your heart of hearts who your soulmate is, who your twin flame is, or who your true friends are, or true family, or soul tribe is. So you can't allow someone to come into your life and just change the narratives in order to fit his fantasy, his delusion. I think I've been through enough to know that this person has absolutely no care. They do not necessarily want to do proper business. That's just a bait. I do not want anything from this person, money, fame, whatever it is that he's future faking. And even if it were true, I'm not interested. And he's forcing people to speak in such a way, or to guide me towards him, and also is saying online and other places that I'm his future wife. And this is because he believes that that's may happen between me and the twin flame, or someone else. Who knows what the universe has planned. Right now, I live with my ex, and we have an understanding. We take care of each other. We look out for each other. I tried to move out on my own for a little while. I had a place of my own, and the narcissist sent people to harass me. I left there and I winded up back home, mostly due to security. And I'm comfortable there. Why should I move out right now if I do not have a connection that is worthy of moving out? So that's where we are. My ex-husband does what he does. I do what I do. It's not necessarily where um, we're settling, or there's some other dynamic that people want to make up. Is we have a foundation. We had a friendship first, and living in the same grounds as my ex is something that we decided to do for either safety reasons, or um, uh, paying bills, or the rent. Though I can do things on my own, and so can he. It just seemed to fit and work out best to do that, considering it's a big enough space to share and have our own quarters, or go and come as we please. We don't question each other. We do look out for each other, and also our daughter. But it's not where what people think it is. We're not intimate. We're not. We love each other as people who shared and worked as a team and did life together, but we're not in love. And we've had that conversation, and that's our business. And the narcissist is taking it upon himself to pry too much into my life, and telling people that I'm trying to cheat. If my ex knows what's going on and he supports things, he even contacted the twin flame and told them it isn't what people say it is. I mean, the twin flame may very well be in a committed relationship himself. Again, that's up to the universe to work out. I think that to just come together and talk and come into that union, and then figure out where things are, if at all, that's really up to he and I. And it's on my part, I resent the fact that so many people want to navigate it for us. Now, that to me is trying to change what God's plan is. And things start happening in people's lives when they try to change God's plan in any respect in our lives, be it business, be it family, be it anything that God has placed together. So I'm just one of those people that I allow things to be as they are. I do try to help in the beginning, but when you find out that you can't necessarily talk to certain people, and they're so 3D based, you can't sit and have a conversation. They misunderstand chosen ones anyway. I'm the easiest person to talk to and understand if people took the time. Now, people think I have changed. I've always been the same. I think when you detach and people are no longer able to access your energy, they believe you've changed, especially when the narcissist makes it an addiction to some people you don't even know, and some people in your life. If you can imagine, you've been harassed, stalked behind the scenes, that he calls it. Everything is behind the scenes because a lot of things are lies. So um, after a while of somebody harassing you, it becomes an addiction to them as well. They're gaining something from it. And it's hard for those people who are harassing you to stop harassing you. So, again, this is how a narcissist colonizes your mind. It's a cognitive dissonance, and many people have addictive characters. And if you're not healed, sometimes we look for certain vices, and sometimes those vices are strange things that we acquire, like harassing people or clinging on to other people's energy when we all have our own. If we took time to search and self reflect within ourselves, we'll find all the good attributes of ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have them, but again, if you have been manipulated by a narcissist, the whole idea is to keep you addicted into his delusion, his world, because ultimately it is his fantasy. It is his now comfort zone. And he truly believes like he's like an ex-husband or boyfriend or even a friend. And I have absolutely no connection to this person. Once I realized that, same as he does others, when he contacted me from the beginning, there was an agenda. Now, this is a person who is a catfisher. He scams people, and even if you know him and he contacts you and you haven't spoken to him in a while, he'll use the fact that you have some sort of past connection and elaborate on that, but still running whatever his agenda is. Now, I do believe with him invading my privacy that he is selling things on the dark web, making money off of that, and just enjoying the attention he's receiving, pretending to be me, and various other things that I may not even know about. But this is, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to call a spade a spade. This is a very nasty person. This person's energy is gives me the heebie-jeebies, but I don't place too much attention on it. I'm not afraid of him. I just know a lot of people shake the energy off, and the reason why they say I feel this weird energy is because you are tapping into a darker force, and that's why you're feeling that way. But then when you try to explain this to people, or even if you try to show them real proof, and the narcissist always has false proof. Now, or he takes something that was real and elaborates on it in order to fit his narrative. When it comes to the twin flame, I don't know where that's gonna go. I try not to worry about it, but I also don't change the way I would have navigated this from the start. I don't give anyone that control. Again, I said this earlier, it's up to the twin flame to decide what he wants to do with it. I don't force anything. I do have interests because I am the other half of this journey. But I would like to just have him come to that understanding that there is another party to this, which is myself. But if he decides to do things his way and is opposite of what I feel we should do, which is go back to the beginning before all the distractions arise. Some people feel you shouldn't reconnect with this person considering what they have done or what they have said. We have to keep into perspective that if you listening, a lot of you haven't, but a few of you may have been manipulated by the narcissist narrative. And for those friends, family, coworkers, neighborhood people, if they fell for the illusions actually, what makes me think that the twin flame can't do the same? I mean, we're all human. In the very beginning, I was almost fooled by this person, but considering that a high-ranking healer, I woke up from that illusion quickly. Um, and that's why I detach. So a narcissist gets upset if you interrupt the original plan. And they'll continue until they get their way because it becomes a game for them. It becomes a challenge to and a winning thing, though they're not winning anything. It again, it's a game. They want to win from all angles. Everyone must be inside his delusion and what he wants it to be, regardless of what I want, hoping that at some point you're exhausted enough to change your mind or view things from his perspective, or how I'm seeing things wrong. I don't think I'm seeing things wrong when someone is trying to unalive me, when someone has had my car crash with me and my child in it, when a person has been trying to scam me out of money, when a person has people bullying me from all angles, and various things that I haven't even gotten into. Imagine a 16 years worth of this person trying to force me to submit to them. The narcissist will continue until you are distorted inside of his delusions. And a lot of different stories will be created in order to wiggle their way out and claim that I'm seeing this wrong, that I did something wrong. For example, he's told people in the family, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just lovesick. A person who's just lovesick will either contact you, maybe overly think about you, or feel a certain way, wanting to heal, maybe mourning the connection. Some of those things are understandable, but when you have been through what I've been through, this is a person who's claiming to be lovesick, and maybe because the twin flame may be, or someone else, or this is how he dismisses the severity of this, and often uses examples like the show You, where the guy is following the girl and he has this admiration, and or just he tries to create it to make it or make it seem as though it's something innocent, and he's just lovesick. I don't think for 16 years that this is being lovesick. Again, that's to dismiss the severity of it. And that further explains the distortion, considering all the things that he has created. The framing, the blackmailing, the gaslighting, the bullying, the trying to have me unalive, my car being crashed, angering people against me, keeping this going for years with various people that he keeps attached. And you don't know about this. You could be sitting on your hands at home, and the narcissist is creating all sorts of things behind your back. And when you walk out, you're receiving this treatment and you don't know where it's coming from. And I do mean many upon many crazy scenarios are created, and this is how they try to keep you on edge. This is how they entertain themselves. This is how they live vicariously through you. This is how they keep people away from you so notes cannot be compared. People who actually may have cared about each other. Most people will say, oh, well, they never cared about you. Now, this is true for most people. But I found along the way that there may be someone who you truly connected with, and you feel like it was a blackout in your mind. Again, the narcissist colonizes your mind. He changes and blocks the way you view things and paints a completely different picture, but your soul is still feeling that connection. Somehow still your mind is trained and manipulated to deny what you're feeling. And this is how cognitive dissonance is created. In order to divide people, the narcissists refuse for people to feel love, care, happiness, healing, reconciling, whatever it is. Now, there's a lot of people from my past that I don't care to reconcile with. They weren't there for me in the past, and I don't think they'll be there for me in the future either. Um, Now, I'm also not going to be a fool and allow anyone in who is still under the narcissist thumb as well. I'm fully awake, fully aware, eyes wide open, and I just try to put things into a balanced perspective. So if you don't remain angry with someone, if you don't remain inside the narcissist delusion as to how he wants things to be, he'll continue to create things and tell many lies about each person if you're beginning to awaken, because the idea is to keep you in doubt, to keep you suspicious, to keep people pitted against each other. Now, I think I mentioned that my brother was unalived by a narcissistic teen in 1990 that harassed him for about a year. And my brother tried to speak to school, family, friends, and no one was listening actively or could do anything at the time. But the narcissist throughout the years has used that as a fear tactic and teased me about my brother being unalived by someone of his same demographic. Um, so much of the past is used to try and rehatch wounds or anger and make you feel small. They really try to put their fist down your throat and grab your soul and take over your mind. And that's something that he finds hard to do. So if he can't control you per se, he'll control those around you for the same effect. Now, not only will a narcissist rewrite history for the target, he'll rewrite history for those who are pulled into the stalking and harassment. Throughout being targeted by this narcopath, he's hiddenly said very creepy things. Things like, "I sleep when you sleep. You're screaming for help and no one can hear you." Now, also, if you are being watched, there's various things, if you can imagine, that they say, things like, "I like that shirt you had on today." And what's strange is, let's say, for example, I put on a green shirt. The next day, he'll make a video with a green shirt on. Let's say that same day, I wear a certain color or a checkered shirt. He'll do the same thing and post it, and sometimes it's deleted. This is how, and he'll direct you to want to watch them, to want to care, to want to. And this is something that in the beginning, you have to stay one step ahead of these entities. So you're learning who they are and the Jekyll and Hyde. So you're curious in the beginning. That's not something I lie about. So you're learning this person and what's going on in their mind. Today, I do not search for this person. I do not look at his social media. I completely detach 100%. I focus on myself. I don't look for what he's doing, because the idea is to distract you from your everyday life, to delay you, to stop you, to keep you focused on them. It's kind of creepy that others do that as well. They try to repeat things you've done or things they shouldn't know. And this is a form of control within those people who feel out of control within themselves. And it's funny to them. And these people have laughed in my face. For example, if you're around a certain friend, or you're passing by a group you have to be around or connect with for whatever reason, just spontaneously they'll point at you and laugh. But yet the narcissist tells people that you're laughing at him. And what he's fearing with his deep insecurity that people will discover um, his mask off, or people will see him with his mask off and laugh at him. The very thing that they do to the target, they're afraid, deeply afraid of it happening to them, because it's good for you, but it's not good for the narcissist. Mind you, no one is targeting the narcissist. No one is seeking to make him feel a certain way or laughing at him. These are all things that are going on inside the mind of a narcopath. They're very paranoid people, delusional. But when they want to put forth that facade that they're together and they flip the script and blame shift, or they're really good at doing that as well. That is the Jekyll and Hyde, where they're doing one thing on one hand, doing something in the other, but they both coincide with each other in order to continue to do what they do. Now, I find it mind-boggling that, or rather, how is it that a stranger can call you up and recruit you? So if there is payments being made for people to do his dirty work, if you really look at that a little deeper, what he's paying for is attention. What he's paying for is to gain something that if he were healthy, they could gain it from someone in the proper way. So he's pretty much paying to stay relevant, paying to revenge something that I didn't do, or that doesn't warrant what I've done, which is just detach and say no. And narcissists hate the word no coming from anyone, because they do have a God complex. And when you deviate from what his original plan is, you're now the new enemy. So they work effortlessly to change your mind, to see things from another perspective, or to feel pity for them. They work well if many people are pitying him, or they work well in chaos, confusion. They thrive off of chaos. So that chaos starts to spill over onto other people. And what I mean by that is that you find yourself trapped inside this delusion, this scenario he's created. And then when you discover what this is and you don't want a part of it, it leaves a mess for other people to have to fix. Now you find yourself held hostage or trapped inside of this, either embarrassment or maybe jail time, or just different things that, or some people with the cognitive dissonance become addicted, just like the narcissist does. They become addicted to harassing you, and they don't self-reflect. They don't heal their own end of this. So it makes it, in the beginning, it made it hard for me being the target of it. This is why I've ascended more so and have come into this higher understanding of people, entities, the spiritual world. Though I was already very healed. If you think back to where I started in the beginning of my story, the narcissist found out quickly that I've healed from a lot in my past and he hasn't. So the idea is to heal himself through my energy and switch places. That is impossible. Again, what the universe has handed to you, no one can take from you. Now, in the 3D tangible world, there's certain things that can be rerouted, as I said before. But if you're healed, there's no way you can go back. Now, this narcissist has also said things to try and make me jealous, pretending that other women, he was really close to other women, or he's seeing someone, or whatever it may be. And there are women in his life that he either pays for, or whatever situation that he conned into or is catfishing, or whatever the situation may be. But you can't be jealous of someone that you don't care for in that way. So that attempt has been done before. For example, I think two or three people have said this within this story, that this other woman matches my fly. So if a narcissist is saying that this other woman matches their fly, you're basically telling me that whoever you're speaking of, whoever this woman or male is, you're basically telling me that they're corrupt like you, that they will do negative things along with you, that they hate the target as much as you, or they continuously fall for the manipulation. If that's what this person means by matching, this other woman matches their fly, I mean, it is what it is, but it's none of my business. But then again, I mean, as you're having other women and men harass, bully, stalk, and target me. You're using them to target me. You're not using me to target them. So that's none of my concern. As long as you're not using me to target anyone and I know who I am, I feel good about that. So all these different tactics that are used to tweak your emotions, I'm very balanced, where I know where to place my emotions and where to place my logic, where to place my critical thinking, where to ask questions. These things online I don't react to, because as it's often said, take it if it resonates. I don't resonate with that. So why should I take it? Why should I respond? The only thing that I can advise, if anyone would like to take that advice, is to detach, take your life back, know your worth, heal, and understand that the world is already corrupt enough as it is. I know many people don't care about that, and many people do. It's your choice to navigate and nurture your life as to who you work for, whether it be the light or the dark. I do have more to say and things that I remember along the way. Also educating people on how to cope and heal, and how to not feel alone if you're in this same type of situations, maybe in a smaller or bigger scale. I want to thank anybody, as I try to do in videos, thank those people who are willing to think critically and see both ends of my story and do the right thing. Anyone who has given me any prayers, sent any positive energy, who was willing to listen actively, I want to thank you for that. And thank you for listening and clicking on the video. And hopefully you will never have to experience something like this. I know we all experience something or the other. But I'm very grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for those people who are able to spiritually connect, 5D connect, 3D connect. I understand when a lot of people tell a little bit about their story. I empathize, I get it, and I appreciate any uplifting that I've received as well, advice, help of any sort. So again, if you have extended even one flower, you're loved. Thank you.